Hey guys, all right, here's the next project we got for out at the RV. One of the complaints I have about the bench seating with the table is they put the storage under the seat, but let's everyone can admit, getting to what's under those seats is a little bit of a pain. We got to move the cushions off, then you got to move that board off. It hits the sides and bangs into the walls. It's just not a great design. We would like to be able to have some storage under there, yet still have some access. So, as it turned out, I thought of putting a shelf. So this is a Reva shelf. I think I got this at Home Depot. Stainless. I don't know if it's stainless, but it's got a metal rack system that's on a rail that you would pull in and out. And I thought, well, that would be cool. We could cut the end of it out here and then pull it out. And it just so happens when we were at the last RV show, they had this in one of the units there, and I was like, Somebody finally got smart and put it in the campers. Probably a money issue the whole time before, the reason they didn't do it, because it only makes sense to do it. So yeah, that's what I'm going to do. I don't know which one. I'm going to ask the wife which one she wants it under, but here's the actual shelf itself, right here. As you can see, it rolls on the rack and it'll come out. So I'm going to cut out the face plate on this side and mount it down in there. It's almost the size that it needs to be, the height. I'm just going to shim it up a little bit. It's going to be a really easy project, so I say. And yeah, let's see what we can come up with. So here's our space that's underneath one of those chairs, and we're going to get this unit right here, and it fits right in there. It's going to sit up on that rack, something like that, and then I'm going to shim it to the height. We're going to cut the hole in this panel right here. So we're going to take this board side off. It's only held on with some staples. First thing I'm going to do is I'm going to mark on the inside where the structural members are. So I want it as large as I can get it, the opening. All right. So I marked my square where this opening is, and that's how big I want the hole to be, so that when this is in there, it will come right out of that hole there. This is the side that I actually drew the line on. Now, I don't want to cut it on this side, because this side is going to tear out. That's just the way that this cheap wood's going to do. That's how it is. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my drill and I'm going to go in each of the four corners. Real easy, like, don't go pushing it through real hard or it'll bust that fake plastic off the outside. The outside is actually a film, kind of like shelf liner, wallpaper, more like shelf liner. And that stuff will just tear off. I'll show you here in a second. As soon as I get done with this, you'll be able to see it. All right, you can kind of see it really tears out when you poke through it. And the saw will do the same thing if you tried to cut through it. So a couple of things. Number one, I'm going to take these staples off. Man, that was a dirty board. I don't know what got on that foot wall down there. It was dirty. I'll have to go on the inside and take the staples out that are left in the wood there, because some of them just tore through. All right, so those are completely out. Now, what I'm going to end up doing is I'm going to end up putting painter's tape on here. I'm going to go over those holes. And that painter's tape will keep it from tearing out so bad whenever you do the cut. If you buy shelves that have the pre-coating on it at the store, the thing shows if you cut your thing, you want to do the same thing. You want to put this on it on the side that has that film. That'll keep it from peeling up. Stepped outside so I don't get the sawdust inside the barn. Now I'm going to take this side panel, go along that line that I just put on there with my reciprocating saw. I cannot say enough how much I love this tool. This one, I have used this just so much. It's just unfathomable. I couldn't imagine. If I lost this tool, I would buy another. So here we go. So now we're going to build a false frame that goes around this. It'll go around this piece here. We're going to build a false frame around this so it'll set on there, and this is what will come in and out with the drawer. Yeah. Let's get to work on that frame. So literally now what we're doing here is this is the inside panel that got cut out. I'm literally going to make a picture frame to go around this. One, to strengthen it, and two, to make it so that it covers up all the cuts, and that's the way you do it. So I'm going to go ahead and start cutting my picture frame out. I've already marked some of the numbers and distances there. Cutting at 45 degrees. So that's what I'm going to do there. I'm just going to miter these in there, and that is going to frame out that. That'll be the other side. I've got the wrong side facing forward, but that's what I'm doing. Okay, I got my 4 pieces of my frame done. I got these very, very handy spring clips that I used in building the house when I was doing the trim work of the house. I was offline for a little bit. When I first put this together, I had a gap up in the corners of each of them. And what that tells me is that my chop saw outside, my DeWalt chop saw, was just a hair off. I mean, by 1,000th. It doesn't take much because you have 1 cut, 2 cuts, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. You have 8 cuts at 45-degree angles. And it doesn't take, I mean, 10,000th of an inch off on each cut, that by the time you get to the end and it accumulates, and then you have a gap. So my OCD kicked in, and so I went back and corrected my saw, then recut this, and yep, all is good. So that coming off here, here's the board that's going to go in there, or that's going to go on it. It'll go just like that. We won't even have to put any nails into the corners to hold this together. I think this will be enough. This will be enough to hold it. There you go. All right, so this is one of the hard parts here, or technical parts. I have to see how high I need to hold this up off the floor so that the drawer will slide out smoothly without hitting anything, and all of that. So technically it looks like I can actually set it right where it's at right there, but it's sitting on this plate, so I've got a gap here. So I need to put a board or something under there that will hold it up, stabilize it. Also gives me something to screw to, because I am just going to glue that board down to the floor. I really don't want to run too many nails down, screws down into it. I might just put a short one that I know isn't. It's just enough to grip it, but I want the glue will do the work. So yeah, so that's what I'm looking at here. I went up to my shed. Sure enough, I had some heavy-duty liquid nails adhesive up there, and it's already been used. I pulled it out, and it's not dried up, so I'm going to use this to attach it to the floor. Why? Because I have it, and it needs to go. So there we go. Let's move this out of our way. These 2 items are going to get glued down. So let's do that. Pull that out. I wouldn't say a liberal amount, but there's no reason to be shy. And if it squishes out, goodness gracious, who cares? It's under the seat. Alright, that one's over there. Same Same thing here. All right. It's good to have leftover stuff like adhesive. Now I'm going to move this seat belt a little bit, but nothing. I'm not taking it out because obviously it's a seat belt, so I don't want to get in trouble for something like that. Push the button so it relieves the pressure, so it don't keep squishing out. I just use nails in mine. Seems to work. Keeps them from leaking. All right. Hold your ears. We're going to hammer and nail these in. Or screw them in. Okay. Well, now let's look at the drawer. The drawer itself only has 4 screws holding it in. Like I said, I am going to secure this up and out of the way when I'm done. Put it about all the way to the front. And here, I'm looking at this bar, distance here, distance there. I got 2 more screws in front, but let's look at it here. There you go. So now I just got to get this wall back on here and either hinge the door or do what I'm going to do to it to figure out what I want. Move this safety belt out of my way just a little bit. Nothing extravagant, just want to get it out of the way so it doesn't get bound up in there. But other than that, that is how I mounted that in there. That was pretty simple. Glued these down. Like I said, these screws are only going in probably enough to go through the linoleum and into the luan, which is the board this floor is probably made of. It might be a 1/4 or 1/2 inch. It might be a 1/2 inch ply, but it's not going in much. I'm really relying on the glue to hold it, and I put enough screws that I'm hoping that that'll do it. If not, you know, I'll go back and I'll reattach it down. While we wait for the glue to dry on the door that's going on here, let's go ahead and put this plate back on. So let's pull out all these old nails, excuse me, the old staples. These are like, all the nails are up. All right, so what we're going to do is we're going to take this old facade that was on there, and we're going to reinstall it. Except we're going to glue it this time. Face board, make sure I got it going in the right direction. Now, I'm going to go a little bit outside of its realm here, and then wiggle it on. That's distributing that, flattening out all that adhesive. Little clamps here. You do not have to squeeze this hard. You just have to squeeze it. Well, there we go. Once again, we got to set and let the glue dry. Well, no, I couldn't wait. So I'm going to go ahead. I want to get my brad nailer and finish nailer. And I had some 1 1/4 nails, which it's a little longer than I'd want. But, well, that's what I got. This has been sitting for darn near an hour in pretty hot heat anyway. So I'm going to see if I can't just get a couple of them in these corners. Then I'm going to have to try to put a little sanding on it, and then we'll see if we can't stain it to where it gets a little bit the same color. Cindy really didn't care. She's just like, you know, as long as we're close, we're fine. I'm also going to take this nail gun on the inside and put a couple of them on the inside, holding that main plate down. That brad, those finishing nails will do the job now. Yep. All right, let's do some cleanup. Well, all right, got me some hinges at the hardware store. I already started one of them on here. I'm gonna put 2 of them on each side. Let me get another hole going here. I'm pre-drilling just a little bit so the screws don't push out too much material. And all that out. All right. Now, when I painted this, I did paint it with the clear finish. Ended up being a satin, which turned out to almost gloss. I am going to just rough sand this and hit this thing with a matte finish, because I don't want this glossy. I don't know if you can see if the lights are hitting it, but it's got a gloss finish on it. It don't match, and I don't like it at all. So I'm gonna put a little gloss finish on that, or sorry, put a matte finish on that, and then go inside, and I'm gonna put these two screws in. The hinges are gonna be at the bottom, so it hinges down onto the floor, and then you'll pull the cabinet out. That's the way Cindy wanted it. So we looked at it and we thought that would be best. So yep, that's what we're gonna do, and we get to putting a new coat on this. Let's get this door handle on here. I got the hinges mounted. I got a matte finish put on it now, so it doesn't stand out nearly as bad. So let's go ahead and get these installed. I've already drilled some holes and test fit it off camera. Let's get her installed here. I'm going to put the handle on here. This will open and close. I may have to countersink where the screws that hold this onto the door come in and hit. Where they come in and hit. May have to countersink those just a little bit. That's okay. I'm also going to put one of my drawer latches, so this when this comes up, it will snap in and come back when it's done. So I got the handle on it. Here she is. She opens and closes. Now I got to put a drawer catch here, so when it closes, it'll hold it shut while we're driving down the road. But there it is. She opens and closes. Going to be closed. This is the drawer catch that's going to go on there. If you haven't seen this, go back and watch our video that I did when I was replacing the ones that were broke. Well, let me get this one on and I'll show you when it's all done. So here it is. Door opens up. Pull it out, cabinet pulls out, and get whatever we want out of here. Goes back in. I got one of my drawer catches to hold it up, and she's done. So easy project. Don't be scared of doing something like that. That was fairly easy. So another project down. Time to find another one. Like and subscribe. Keep watching this and see what other kind of trouble I'm going to get into. So y'all hang in there, guys. See you later.